Your Excellencies, the Reverend Fathers, the religious sisters and brothers, my dear seminarians, brothers and sisters in Christ, JP and Pau, you know the song, Oh What a Journey It Has Been. That is the song for you today. Oh, what a journey it has been. From Baliwag to Makati to San Fabian. What a journey it has been. From Manawag to Batangas and then back to Pangasinan. What a journey it has been. And what brought you to this day to receive the grace of ordination? Of course, you will be the first to say the grace of God. But as I accompanied you through the years in preparation for this day, I can also say by the grace of God and by your generosity, by the kindness of God and your kindness also, by the goodness of the Lord, accompanied by your goodness also. Because even if the grace of God is infinite, the grace of God, if not met with human cooperation, would still be nothing. So what did I see you through the journeys that to the years that we have journeyed together? What did I see in you that I believe you should continue to possess because you will still need it in the years ahead? The first that you did after the long journey to the priesthood is you allowed God to see you as you are. You did not hide like Adam. You did not hide in the darkness like Peter. You did not fall into depression like Judas. You allowed the Lord to see you as you are, and you trusted in the Lord without hypocrisy, without excuse, without pretense, without lying, because you know that God knows everything anyway. It is useless to lie in the presence of God. You have allowed God to see you. And not only did you allow God to see you, you have allowed God to touch you. And not only did He touch you, His touch healed you. And His touch held you by the hand and led you to this day. You have allowed God to see you as you are, to see you in your nakedness, to see you in your woundedness, to see you in your brokenness, but with total trust, with total confidence in His love, in His forgiveness, and in His compassion. But not only did you allow God to see you as you are, you have allowed God to shape you. Not only did He see you with kindness, not only did He watch you walk by, not only did He fix His gaze upon you as if you're the only person in this world, you have allowed God to shape you. Very often, we say God is a potter and we are clay. It feels good because the clay is soft. But you know also from your experience that in the years, God was shaping you to be a good deacon and to be a good priest. You were not only clay in the hand of the potter, you also felt like timber being sawn from the tree. You felt like raw wood being chiseled, and the chisel and the craftsman telling you, this is not necessary, get rid of it. Parts of you were thrown away, parts of you that did not fit into the sculpture that God wanted to shape from the raw timber. You allowed God to shape you by chisel, by His hands, by His mind. JP and Pau, You were not only shaped by the people good to you. You were not only shaped by the people who gave you immense opportunities and who opened doors and windows for you. You were also shaped by the people who did not believe in you, by the people who doubted you, by the people who mocked you, by the people who suspected you and took you for granted and imputed ill motives against you. You were formed by them also. Because every moment is a teaching moment, and every person is a teacher. They may give us beautiful things in life to learn from, but sometimes they teach us painful lessons. But the most beautiful lessons in your life, you learn not in the sunlight, but in the darkness of the night. Because the most beautiful lessons in life, we learn in difficulty. We learn while being chiseled. We learn under the fire. We learn under trouble. We learn in crisis. From allowing the Lord to see you, you have allowed the Lord to shape you. And not only did the Lord shape you, now you're asking the Lord, send us. You are allowing the Lord to send you. You will be given a task from the church through my signature. But that is not mine. That is God's gift to you. Because you have been shaped, you have taken courage and generosity to allow the hand of God to shape you, and now you're allowing God to send you. You're going to say yes to the Lord, and you're going to say yes to things that you don't know. You don't know how life will be 5 years from now. You don't even know how life will be tomorrow. You don't know how life will be 25, 40 years from now. But you are saying yes to that. You are not only saying yes to things you know. You are not only saying yes to things you like. You are not only saying yes to things that you agree with. There will come a time when you will be told to do things that you don't agree with. There will be times that you will be told to do things because it is God's will for you, even if you cannot believe it. There will be times. But when those times come, remember, the Lord whom you allow to see you, the Lord whom you allow to shape you, is the same Lord who will send you where you don't like to go. It is the same Lord who will send you where you are afraid to go. It is the same Lord who will send you where you were not trained to go. But you will go nevertheless, because His grace is enough for you. As you have allowed the Lord to see you as you are, in honesty and sincerity, as you have courageously and patiently allowed the Lord to shape you, to chisel you, to throw away unnecessary things about you, as you allow the Lord to send you to places, to people, to situations beyond your control, I tell you, my dear brothers, continue this. Continue to allow the Lord to see you. Continue to allow the Lord to shape you. Continue to allow the Lord to send you wherever He wants you to go. But if there should come a time, JP and Pao, when you're tempted to hide like Adam, when you're tempted to hide like Judas, when you're tempted to weep in the darkness like Peter, when that time comes and you don't like the Lord to see you, please come over. We can talk together and we can talk to God together, and God will give you courage again to be naked before the Lord and experience many times even more the tenderness of His mercy. If there should come a time when you feel tired, being chiseled, being reformed, if there should come a time when you say, I have been shaped already, and you don't like to be held by his hand anymore. You're tired of the chiseling of that craftsman. Please come over. We can talk together because we are all unfinished business, and we are all pottery in the hand of the Lord, waiting to unfold, waiting to see what He really wants of us. And if there should come a time when you're afraid to be sent, if there should come a time when you're ashamed, when you are unprepared, when you think it is foolish to send you where you are being sent, please come over. We will talk to God. We will talk together. And I know that God who lays his hands on you today will be the same God who will touch your hands and say to you, come with me. His will is the best for us. JP, Pau, what a journey it has been. And there is still a long journey ahead of you. I want to grow old with you. Grow old with you, serving the Lord. So that at the sunset of our lives, the same voice who called you, come follow me, the same eyes whom you allowed to see you, the same hands whom we allowed to shape you, the same voice who sends you, will be the same Lord who will say to you, welcome, good and faithful servant, enter your everlasting reward. And then the real journey of life everlasting begins.